morning. Hi. I'm out of bed, but I'm still so sleepy. Overcast mornings are just hard to just crawl out of your warm spot, huh? Regular old coffee. Just added a little half and half to it. I needed that bold coffee scent, that aromatherapy to get me going. Had to get up early today because everyone's headed back to school. Everyone's headed back to school. I was looking at the calendar and it says today is National Winter Skin Relief Day. I don't know. I know that sometimes when I work with some yarns, they seem to dry out my skin more than others. I noticed that when I work with the homespun wool, the hand spun wool, the lanolin in it is incredible, and I don't need any lotion or anything at all. I don't really like scented things because I don't want it to stay on my item. And I don't like greasy things because I don't want it to put any spots on my lighter colored yarn when I'm working with something lighter. Good old Lubriderm. This one happens to be normal to dry skin, fragrance free. I picked this up at Grocery Outlet, my favorite store to shop at. It was a couple of bucks. I've gone through a lot of them. When I'm not crocheting or I just got done crocheting for a little bit of time, I absolutely love the Burt's Bees. It's Burt's Bees Almond and Milk Hand Cream. This stuff smells so good. It smells like the almond extract that I like putting in my coffee in the morning. And then, of course, I love the Cauldron lotion. It's way over there, and I'm sitting here today. I'm sitting in front of my cabinet, my case, where I keep all my lovely yarns. Let's see. That was a fun weekend. Got a lot of stuff done. It was very rainy, cold, and blustery, so we spent a lot of time at home. We took a drive on Saturday, about 2 hours south to San Jose. We live closer to Sacramento. We live between Sacramento and San Francisco. We took a drive down to San Jose. My husband found some car parts that he had to have. So we took a drive in the storm, which I don't mind. The sky's beautiful. He's a good driver, so it didn't feel like we were jeopardizing safety or anything like that. It was a nice drive. I did not take any yarn with me. I know. Ridiculousness. On Friday, was that Friday? Thursday or Friday, I went over to Hobby Lobby to pick up some thread that I had an idea rolling around in my head and I had to get it out. So I went to go pick up some thread and I noticed that they had picture frames for 50% off. And I was thinking, I need one for the project I have rolling around in my head, but I have no idea in my mind's eye what size it was going to come out. So I didn't get one. Saturday morning, before we head out to San Jose, I was super excited because I convinced him we should make a pit stop for beverages and picture frames. So we stopped so I could get a picture frame. I found the perfect picture frame. It's sitting right there. I'll show you in a sec. So I got 2 Hobby Lobby trips in one sale week. The yarn was not 30% off. The thread, you know, I seem to remember like either the yarn or the thread, but one of them always being 30% off. So it's kind of nice that every time I went to Hobby Lobby, I could fill my cart with something. So I had an idea in my mind. I absolutely love visiting with you. Thank you so much. And I enjoy our visits casual. The idea of us getting together has always been just so that I could have fiber friends to talk to and discuss. I have no goals or aspirations beyond that. I know, very lame, but I like it small. I like it simple. I always forget to ask you to please like the video. I know, I forget, because that's like, please come in and take off your shoes and wipe your feet kind of, you know? Oh. Wait a minute, did I make that backward? No, 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 no. To me, it's the right way. To you, it's the right way. There we go. I found a lot of little patterns and photographs of crocheted like signs. I've seen a lot of them on Etsy where people are making them and 3D printing them and resining them. But we're fiber people. I needed a crochet one. I crocheted too. I had a lot of help. I had help from Sarah Nickel, and I had help from Amanda over at Tap Mama and the Bag Brigade. Check both of their channels out, and don't forget to like them too. So I started out dissecting it, and it had knuckles, and the thumb was angled and wedged, and it didn't look right. Well, after zooming in and inspecting the YouTube like symbol, I realized it was pretty basic. So the thumbnail on my phone that I press is a red round cornered rectangle, and then it has the white in the back, and that's my thumbnail on my phone. Okay, I got that. I could do that. That's a rectangle granny. You just add an extra granny on two sides of it. I got this. So that was no big deal, but that had to wait. I had to figure out the thumb. The thumb actually ended up working in 3 basic shapes. I have the cuff, I have the hand, and then the thumb. The thumb was easy. The increasing didn't quite get it as angled. It's perfect. This took quite a while of figuring and mental evolving. So there we go. And I starched it lightly before I put it in the shadow box frame, which was $15.99, 50% off. Got it for like $8. It's perfect. So it hangs. I was thinking it would be nice if it stood up, but the shadow box frames don't stand up. So I'm gonna like hang it on the wall by the pink chair that's currently covered in clean laundry that needs to be put away. It's acting like an exercise bike over there, coat rack. So I thought I could hang this on the wall, or if we're hanging out in the dining room or we're hanging out in the living room, I could bring it with me and we can hang out with it in there. And when you see it, please take a second and smash that like. Yeah, thumbnail. Maybe that could be my little picture. So I worked on that. I got this is Fashion 3 Hobby Lobby thread. All of it is, I only needed the 3 colors. I wrote down as I was working, not a proper pattern. It's very sloppy. But from that, I was able to duplicate it. I have one getting ready to be mailed to Louisiana. I shouldn't hide that over on that shelf. I should keep it out in the open because that needs to go out today. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see how slick the roads look. So when I was blocking it, I had to make sure that it was nice and centered in the frame. I thought my foam mats, I have 2 sets of foam mats. I had the black foam mats that I bought at Harbor Freight for $5, and they're huge. They're meant to stand on in a garage or a workshop. And then I was gifted a package of these. These are, I think the Joanne Fabrics had these. They have these tiny little lines that I was able to kind of use as markers. eyeballing it straight. But you know what? I thought I had like measurements, but you know what? I might be thinking of my cutting board, my foam backed cutting board. Not the cutting board in the kitchen, the arts and crafts ones that came with the polymer clay kits. I don't remember. I spritzed it extremely light with this Chase's Home Value sticky spray starch. Did it once, let it dry. Did it twice, let it dry. Very light. Just, you know, like 80s hairstyle in the distance. Let it dry. And then I let it dry for about an hour or two. Then before I went to bed, I used a tiny bit of tacky glue. And I tacked down the thumbprint very lightly. I think I could pull them apart if I needed to. But in the shadow box frame, I just didn't want it ever shifting or moving or to stay straight. The frame came with 4 little pins, which I left because that's crochet. It looks good. Looks like I'm getting ready to sew on some arms and legs on an amigurumi. Hey, it works. It's a tool of the trade. So I did that. I have been snipping and clipping ends all weekend and poking them down in Scrappy Chick. She's got a little bit of a tush going on. I'm thinking I want to embroider 2024 on here because I took out the few tiny little end bits that I had from 2023. I want her to be 2024. I'm embroidering it on there. I want to see how fat she gets. Speaking of how fat chickens get, Bonnie Bunny laid her first 2 eggs over the weekend. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think she's a weekend chick. I think it was Saturday, Sunday. So her first egg was a very light brown with dark brown speckles. And then her second egg was just the color of the speckles, very dark. So if you remember, she's supposed to have chocolatey brown Easter eggs, and that's how she got her name, Bunny, which evolved into Bonnie Bunny, and then Bonnie Babe. She still lives in a little cottage on her own. She does not enjoy company. She does not invite the other ladies over. They are not to visit, and she is pretty aggressive when she has the barrier between them, the fence in her pen area. It's just her. I bring her in as much as possible. I'm going to work on that this week. I have a chicken diaper idea in mind. Working on it. It's rolling around in my head. It's one of those wannabe ideas that just hasn't gotten noted down yet. But I have this cute little notebook that Cindy at Pups and Crochet sent me. And it's filling up fast. Like, I'm jotting them down as I'm working. And I notice that I work well doing that. So write down an idea, follow through with an idea. I need to make a list of priorities and things that need to get done in a timely manner. Fair's been in my mind a lot lately, and I want to write down what I wrote down the categories in my phone note thing, and then I noted what items I think would fall into that category, and then I added a category, or I added some that I want to make, and I noted them with a little ball of yarn. So those kind of need to be a priority to get done because I want them to look as best as possible for Fair. Let's see, what else happened? Oh, I got some mail on Saturday. I ordered a enameled Snoopy pin. Button. He's a button. And he belongs in the doghouse. I don't have my Stanley in here. Stanley's hanging out in the living room. So we got the Snoopy in the doghouse. And then this is a mug hug. And when it rolls around, we got Woodstock. It's to completion. I know I showed you guys before, but the button wasn't here. It fits perfectly. This little narrow spot fits under the handle. So the handle comes out here, and I twist it so that he pokes around, and then Woodstock's on the front. I did do that little grassy looking puff stitch and then the tie-dyed background. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. What else? Oh, I brought out an old project. My granny scarf. So I wore the granny scarf when we took our drive to San Jose, and I noticed I wanted it thin. I did. I wanted it thin, but I noticed you can't really, well, see, now you can in here. In real life, it's really hard to see the stitching, and it's so thin that when I wrap it around my neck, it does this, it folds. So I started putting some single crochets around it, and I love it. I mean, I thought it was finished before. You know, when you finish a project, you feel very content that it's evolved into what it should be, and then you're done and you move on. I had like a little itch, like maybe it needed a little more. And then I thought, no, I have other things to work on. I think it's done. Well, when I made the squares to connect them in the pattern, it left these loops of 4, and then they interweave down the middle. So I've added 4 single crochets, and when I get down to the chain 4 and then a single crochet in, where I got to the single crochet in, I added a double crochet dipping way down into there. There we go. And I made the corners stained glass and elaborate. I love that. Yes. I feel then it will be done. And when I wrap this tiny little bit around my neck, it does kind of stand up a little. So I still have the Hobby Lobby black. I'm working on that. I have my mood color changing hook 4.5, working on that. So this is kind of like a in the car working on it. I will take this to boxing with me tonight. This is just a I'll get it done kind of project between projects. Then so I have Benjamin, the Cabbage Patch Preemie baby, and I made him an outfit. Well, I've ordered, Benjamin has brown eyes. He semi-fits some preemie clothes. I was able to get one little preemie sized onesie to wear underneath his crocheted clothes that I make for him. So the preemie clothes are very long in the body, so I just kind of tuck it under. Fits fine. He also has his diaper on. And when I picked up the onesie from the secondhand store, he wasn't with me. So I saw these tiny itty bitty pairs of pants. They're little corduroys, and I thought, oh, that would look amazing. So I can play around with color work and make him a sweater. Wouldn't that look? Brown corduroy pants with like a green and black and white, one of those little sheep sweaters with the little sheep dancing around the collar. I want to work with color work. I want to learn to do that. So I thought these pants would be cute. But our little Benjamin button over here, those don't fit him. Not at all. Okay, so this is newborn size. These might fit a regular sized Cabbage Patch baby, but I'm going to put it in his little, I'm going to put it in the little clothes basket anyway. I'm sure, you know, with some modifications like we do with real babies when they move up a size, but they're not quite ready. Can fold the waistband, can fold the legs, pull his little sweater down past. We can make it work. So these are going into the clothes, a non-made clothes item. That's okay. Benjamin needs some pants. I'll work on that. I got ideas rolling around in my bucket. So Benjamin's sister is due to arrive. I've been following her tracking across the United States of America. She's taking her time, probably collecting postcards. She's due to arrive today. She may be here by the time I get home from work. We'll see. Don't know. But like a real mom, I've been excited. Well, I am a real mom. I have 3 kids, human kids, that are totally laughing at me about playing with dolls and making doll clothes. Let's start from her bottom layer. She does not have a name yet. I'll have to name her when she gets here. I found a pattern for little. So it is a diaper cover, but I was looking for diaper patterns because I want to make some little diapers in different styles. Cannot remember the name. This tutorial was incredible. This is a preemie tutorial, and she made it with 4-weight yarn, but I wanted to use up that 80s. Where's my ball band? Oh, is it in here? It sure is. I've been carrying it around in this bag. I wanted to use up the rest of my Red Heart retro vintage antique. Those names don't feel right. Like, I remember when my grandma used to use this and it just came out. So yarn, baby yarn. I wanted to use the rest of it up. So I have the multicolor. I did try these items on Benjamin when I was making them, and he seems a little odd today, little irritated with me. So he does not like wearing girl clothes, so I took them off right away. They will be saved for sister when she gets here. This is a bag-o-day crochet pattern. I used a much smaller hook. This is one of her first baby dress patterns, so it has a bit of a generic name. I think it's 1 to 3 months, or 0 to 3 months. I followed the pattern. I did modify by cutting the rows down. I used the multicolored and then the lavender trim around the bottom, and then she used a peacoat little neckline and sleeves. So I got that. I had a little purple left over. I still have a little lavender left over, which I could use for something else. A little hat. And then the hat was another pattern. It was a turban pattern, but it was for 3 to 6 months. So I just used the smaller hook. I think this is more of a DK weight. It's noted 4-weight. Yeah, it's noted 4-weight. I don't think so. So with the bag-o-day crochet, using a slightly smaller hook, using the 3-weight yarn, modifying the rows, I came up with the size that fits the Cabbage Patch Preemie Babies perfectly. It comes down to his knees, which is adorable because then I could add socks, right? Or little sandally shoes. I could make her a pair of shoes. There's a lot of baby booty patterns. I'll have to work on that. And then I got the little hat, and I used the white the shimmery white for the tie, and then her little baby diaper cover. So this was official preemie pattern. This pattern was modified by using smaller hook, smaller yarn. This bag-o-day pattern, smaller yarn, smaller hook. She used Caron Simply Soft. Caron Simply Soft hasn't changed much over the years. So I have this waiting for new baby. Won't be putting it on Benjamin anymore. He didn't like it. So I need to find a project, a big one. Okay, well, I'm still working on the granny square poncho over there with sleeves. Still working on it. I did not touch it this weekend because I was sewing the Peanuts button. I was revamping my granny scarf. I made a baby dress, baby diaper cover, and a baby hat. Oh, and then I made another reminder. Please hit the like. I want to see how many likes we get. It's like a social experiment. Like. What else? You know what? Not what else. That was a lot. I think I kept yarn in my hands pretty much all weekend. I would say that was a very successful, relaxing weekend for me. So I'm going to work on the granny square scarf. I'm going to wait for the baby to arrive. The next time we visit, I should be able to show you the scarf. I should be able to show you baby in her outfit. And what other downtime goals should I have? Oh, I'll work on the poncho. I don't want it to slip into a dusty whip. or a sleeping whip when I keep it going. I think that's about it. Mondays, right? Not my favorite day of the week because I still have so many days till Thursday, but it's definitely rounded the corner to having another Thursday again. Thank you for visiting. Hope to see you again soon. Bye. Take care.